All right, hey everyone, and welcome to a tour guide to the information technology jungle. My name is Soumydeep Chatterjee, and I am an IT professional who has been practicing in several aspects of IT for nearly half a decade. So, what is this tour guide all about? Before I tell you that, let me give you a slight background and a context. So, there's a lot of buzz going on around the overall computer industry, or what we call the information technology industry. And that is not only because that in 2020, the global IT industry has created a total revenue of around 5.2 trillion US dollars, which is around 40 lakh crore in Indian rupees. That's really lots of amount. But there are a few other factors which make the IT industry, or specifically the jobs within IT industry, always happening. And those factors are, in IT industry, you get to have one of the highest paying jobs in the entire world. You get to travel to foreign destinations abroad quite often to work on the assignments. You get to explore a lot of culture, a lot of socioeconomic conditions, and that helps you develop your portfolio in a better format. And last, but which I find the most blessing factor of IT industry, is that due to this current COVID-19 circumstances, there are lots of business industries which are facing and experiencing a lot of business abnormalities. And due to this kind of business abnormalities, there are a lot of workers who are going through basically an enormous amount of pain. A lot of people, they are not getting their salaries on time, their salaries have been cut, the wages have been slashed, and to the worst, for some people, even the jobs are no longer there. A lot of people have lost their jobs. But then, if you compare that with the people who are working in the industry of IT, it is scenario is way more different, because in IT it's all about technology, and by the grace of advanced technology, IT has been able to implement some advanced work from home mechanisms or remote working mechanisms, where workers like me, we have got the privilege to get ourselves quarantined in our home, not go out, not go to office for days, for weeks, for months, but still we are able to continue doing our work and deliver our commitments to our customers, to our clients, or basically anyone. And it has got no impact at all. I won't say no impact at all, but definitely when you compare that to any other industry in the world, IT industry is the safest industry when it comes to the recession of job due to this kind of pandemics or any other natural calamity. Speaking of which, this is no doubt that people are always trying to get into IT. They're trying to secure a very nice career within IT. But the real question is, there are so many different types of jobs within IT industry. The vertical, the business units is so huge that there are so many different type of jobs, roles and responsibilities, and it becomes so difficult for one to have a clear idea on which path to walk down on, unless he or she is already part of the industry. Even I have seen a lot of people who are part of the IT industry, but still they find it absolutely difficult to figure out about the entire hierarchy or the architecture of the way the industry works. So, since I have been practicing within the IT industry for some time now, uh, I have been getting approached by a lot of people, people who are aspiring students who wants to have a career in the IT industry, or sometimes from people who are not from the IT industry, but due to some other personal interest, they want to have some of their doubts clarified about the IT jobs, professions, roles, responsibilities, and sometimes even their salaries as well. So, from the same ground, what I did was I started conducting a lot of research by coming online and trying to find out that if there is any such place from where people can get this kind of information, so that I don't have to go and tell everything to everyone. I can simply give the link of something and people can kind of a self-help news article. But when I started doing my research, I was taken aback by shock that not even a single platform I could find in the internet, which gives a clear understanding about how things work within the IT industry, what kind of divisions are there, what kind of job roles are there, and what kind of responsibilities are there with each job role. So that was the time when I thought I would definitely start developing something and I would come up with a manifesto which will be able to give a foundational level understanding to anybody who is not part of IT or maybe part of IT, irrespective of that. My this tour guide to information technology that I present to you today will be able to give a fair bit of understanding on the entire architecture divisions of the IT industry. What kind of functions are there? What is their responsibility? What kind of job roles are underneath those functions? Every single thing you will be able to develop an idea upon. So let's get started. So if you look at the entire information technology industry, the from the high level, you can segregate that in two divisions. One is the development section, and the other one is the IT operations section. Now, let me set the expectation right up front. Please do not expect that I would be getting too deep explaining the concepts to you on this, because that will not be relevant to most of the target audience for this initiative. This manifesto is intended to give you foundational level knowledge so that you can either get a general understanding, which is very difficult to find in anywhere right now, or if you're aspiring to be part with, or if you're aspiring to be a part of the IT industry, you can learn from this and then you can start engaging on your own research on whichever role or responsibility you will find interesting. So let's get to explore. First, we're going to talk about the development function. So the development function is basically responsible for the management of developing or creating products. Products can be software, applications, or hardware. It could be of any kind. And the developers, they have the responsibility of building products. Now, there are basically two type of build of products. One could be it's a new product. There has been certain requirements that has come from customers or from the higher level of the management of the industry of the company. So based on their requirements, the developers will have to build a product, or there might be pre-existing products which are already available, but the developers have been asked to create the newer versions of the product. So the newer versions of the product will have new features, might have certain improvements on the security. It will provide a better experience. The look and feel, the touch and feel of the product will be better. There could be so many enhancements that could take place when newer versions of products are coming into the market. So that is what basically the developers are intended to do. Some of the roles that you can find within developers are software developers, programmers, product developers, or QA testers. So the developers or the programmers, they are basically the one who possesses the programming skills. There are certain programming languages available. By writing codes with the help of those programming languages, the developers build products. Now, there are open source programming languages. If you know those languages, then you can develop a lot of products. Sometimes there are certain languages which are only specific to a particular product. So if you are a product developer of, let's say, product A, then you will have to write your codes only in the language that is specific to product A. But I will not get too deep into that, as I have mentioned earlier. But if you find yourself interested in learning development, then I encourage you to explore more so that you could learn about the methods, the frameworks, the best practices, and the different ways of developing products, be it uh, open source programming languages or a programming languages that is specific to a particular product, or other methods like workflow management process or visual development process. QA testers are basically the one who test the usability of a product after a product has been developed. The testers will test if it looks good. They will give their approval so the product can be pushed to the market. If not, the developers will work to fix the bug. The next segment or the division within the IT industry is called the IT operations. And this team is responsible for managing the entire IT environment, which includes the release and the management of the products and the services. The job roles that include within this, or some of the job roles, are IT service desk, end user engineering, server admins, database admins, network engineers. So once a product is developed by the development team, that has to come to the market. Now, if you talk about a product like WhatsApp or Facebook, from where do you get the product? You get the product from App Store or from Play Store. That is the production environment. So the IT operations engineers are responsible for releasing or pushing a product, which has to be in a working condition, of course, to the production environment. And if something goes wrong to the product, if a customer is using a product and something goes wrong, or a service that is something wrong has been experienced, or even something is wrong with the production environment, there could be security related constraints. All these things are taken care by the IT operations management team. They are the one, like the developers are developing products, but the IT operations team is ensuring that those products are available in the market in the best possible shape, so that the customers can use the products without any kind of problems. Because if there are problems coming while the customer is trying to use the product, then obviously the entire purpose that has been built by the organization or the industry to develop a product is not getting served, right? Similarly, as I had mentioned, this tutorial or this manifesto will just give you the basic understanding, but there are many more functions and units which are lying inside the IT operations areas that you can definitely go ahead and explore if you want to, or if you find yourself interested for. To conclude, there are several more hierarchies within the management level. There are leaders, there are some process and functional workers, and there are cross-functional teams which are coming into this community. By that, what I mean to say is that since this is a very basic level understanding, but now the IT industry is evolving. They are getting into hybrid platform environments where people from development as well as IT operations are coming together. And some companies are building a DevOps team where instead of having two different departments, they are having one department under which people with both the skills are working, so that it could be easy for the entire company to manage the engineers and the workers. But to the end, the driving factors are, if you're interested, if you have the passion to learn, and to some extent your line of education will be the driving factors for you to pursue a successful career in the IT industry. Since I have been practicing in the industry for some time, apart from learning technology, you also have to learn how to communicate and how to develop a nice, presentable personality so that you can go and work with people all across the world. So, if you're really interested to learn about getting started with a career in the IT, or if you want to enhance your personality, then you can visit my blog, which is soumyadeepchatterjee.online. There, I am running certain campaigns and initiatives where I'm just trying to share my knowledge, which I have evolved and I have taken from the past years of practices that I have done in the IT industry. So, thank you so much once again for spending your time on this manifesto, and please do share it with all the people who might be needing a help to define an understanding about the IT industry, so that from there onward they can find the right path which they are interested in and can go and do